Okay, so I came into the shop today, but before I even got inside the shop, I grabbed the door handle and it fell off. So I got in through the big door and then I decided I better fix this right away so that it doesn't happen to anyone else. On a door handle, there's two parts. There's the inside part right here, and then there's the outside part. So the inside part is where you have the screws, because it's on the inside of the building so that no one can come and take the doorknob off. And then on the outside, there's just a clean plate that covers the doorknob and all the connections. And then here's the latch in the middle, and then you've got a steel rod and some screws. And then the most important part is the spring that it returns the doorknob. So the tools we're gonna use is a screwdriver. That's what I used to get it off of the door. And then we're also gonna use a hammer and a punch just to secure this spring back in. You could also just use the screwdriver and maybe a hammer or something hard enough to pound the screwdriver in to secure the spring. Okay, so starting on the right of the screen first, you're gonna grab the outside doorknob, and then there's a little plastic sleeve. So put that back on. There's probably a shoulder on it. You want that to be right against the doorknob. Okay, and then this is just the clean piece. And then we put this inside piece. Okay, so you can see on the inside piece, there's a square hole. So that's where the square dowel goes, and it connects the two door handles. But in order to keep the door handles coming back to center, we have to install this spring. So on the spring, it's got two little wire pieces on the outside, and then we're gonna install it on the inside of this mechanism. So this is the outside door handle, and you can see there's some grooves they go across, and that's how you're going to connect the spring when it's inside the mechanism. So there's two tabs on the spring, and it sits inside there very nicely, and that's what we want to do, and then we'll hit it to secure it in there. Okay, so there it is. It's installed there, and you can see the square hole is still in the center, which is good. But now we need to secure the spring so that nothing falls apart. So we're going to try and press down on the gold tabs that have inserted. We decided to use a nail instead because our punch was actually going to be too big. And then also we saw some divots on the side of the doorknob, so we're going to try and press those out so that it makes a little bit of a lip. Okay, so we put the doorknob in between the clamps, the jaws of a vise. It was just enough so that it would support the outer part but not damage the door handle. So we're just going to hit it with the nail. Okay, so now we nailed the silver parts across, sort of damaged it, but it'll help hold the outer doorknob on. So now we're just gonna keep installing the rest of the doorknob, and then we can put it back on the door. Okay, so now that we fixed the outside part of the door handle, this is how it would come if you'd bought it from the store, and then we're gonna show you now how to reinstall it. So here we go. Take the outside of the handle, stick this square into the outside, okay, and then you take the latching mechanism, and there's this plastic piece with a square, and then that fits on the square piece again. Now you want to make sure that it fits onto the little dowels. If it doesn't go one way, put it on the other way, no big deal. And then we're going to take the inside handle and install it. It's got two holes, so those are where the screws go through, and they'll match up on the outsides of this door handle. So this is all what would be inside the door. You want to make sure that the square peg lines up. So that's your door mechanism, and then all you do is just put the screws in. So we just did a test fit right now, and if we give a turn on the handles, you can see that the latch works perfectly. So now that we've done a test fit, we're going to go and install it back on the door. Okay, so here's how we're going to install our doorknob. So here we've got the outside of the door. We're going to install the handle that does not have screws on it. That's so that no one can take out the doorknob and access your building. So we're going to slip that in, but first we need to install the latch. The latch goes right there. Okay, so here's our latch. You want to make sure you install the latch the proper way. So in our case, the door shuts and it hits the door frame, and you want the lower piece to touch first so that it slides on and goes on smoothly. Okay, and then now inside you can see that there's a little hole. There's the square, so we're going to install the outside part. And that should line up perfectly. So now we're going to install the square rod. You might have to jiggle it a little to get it installed. Now that turns, and the lock turns, the latch. So that's perfect, because that's what we wanted to fix. Now we're going to install the inside piece. Make sure it lines up properly. You want the square to line up, so you might have to jiggle it a little bit. So there we go. And then now we're just going to reinstall our 2 screws, top and bottom. For this you want a long handled screwdriver just so that you don't interfere with the doorknob. Okay, so we're almost done. Tighten the bottom, tighten up the top, tighten the screws. You want to make sure that the base plate is secure, doesn't move. You still want the door handle to rotate just fine, and it might have a little bit of play in it, but just make sure that plate is secured. And then some doors will actually have a little silver plate that goes around here. Just depends on what sort of door you have. This one doesn't, but some might. There we go, the door handle works perfectly. Try it from the inside now. There we go, I'm very pleased. Thanks for watching this video on how to fix your doorknob. If you like this sort of content, please like and subscribe, leave a comment. Let us know if there's any other videos you want us to make. Thanks for watching.